What it do, Madden family? What it do, Madden family? It's your boy again, Google Guys, streaming y'all another episode of Madden 17. Ranked game, number 28, guys. Hopefully I can bounce back from that bullshit last game and decent. So let's get this shit right. Let's get this shit started. Get this shit back.
I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Dolphins going up against the Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte, North Carolina, as we bring in our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. First carry for Jonathan Stewart. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. Here's the lineup and a big boy in the backfield, Tolbert.
It's real easy to look at him and immediately picture a bowling ball scattering pins. That's exactly what Mike Tolbert does.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And Benjamin, understandably, really mad after that Week 10 game. He did have 84 yards, but he got stripped by Marcus Peters late. That was the difference.
That'll drive him crazy because as big and as strong as he is, he's not used to people coming in and frisking him and taking the ball away. But throughout the game, he had a nice performance because he used that big body so well. Slant routes inside, kept the defensive backs away. I question his speed coming out of college. Mea culpa. He makes up for it with that big body and excellent catch radius.
They'll set up the screen for Stewart. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's brought down after a good game. 23 yards on the play. Fresh set of downs here. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage.
Looking for Funches, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the...
If Madden isn't involved, that shit happens. Come on, bruh. And I'm throwing it right to the man. Wide ass open. Oh, man, back to this game. All this pause and shit. Let's get it, man. Here we go with this shit again. Let's go, my nigga.
Defense showing blitz. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Ajayi dropped down to being human again after a couple really good weeks. 79 yards on 19 carries. That's still pretty good.
It's still pretty good. That's the human side that really we can relate to. Before that, he was superhuman. He was just rolling, right? 200-yard games back-to-back. But he has really taken over the load for his football team and setting the tone for their offense with his carrying of the football.
Defense looking to hold 7. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Charles Johnson, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Tannehill staying out there. They're going to go on 4th down. They are going for it. It's Tannehill. And he finds a man on a crossing route. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. Looked like they had something going last drive. interception happen. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And he fires one incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And now it's third down. From the gun on third down, Newton. A dump off here to Stewart. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On fourth down, Newton gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. It'll be a gain of 6, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a first and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Now Stewart on first down. This Miami D, 4 interceptions, obviously very crucial to their Week 10 win over the Chargers.
And when you can pick off Phillip Rivers 4 times and return 1 for a touchdown, Kiko Alonso, the linebacker that Miami picked up from last year from Philadelphia, you're really setting yourself up for big success, not just on offense, but your defensive confidence really rises.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
After the run, Newton going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Or does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Offense needs something here on second down. It is second and long.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Over the middle here to Brown. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw, Newton. He gets it to Brown, complete. 7 yards on the play, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen from a yard out. And the Panthers add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target, and it's third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Tannehill being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Flushed out right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield. And that'll bring up second down. So 2nd and 10 here. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. And they're not able to hook up there, incomplete. comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Frank's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And the Panthers coming out now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there, now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. To throw on second down is Newton. And that's incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's first down, here's the field. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Tannehill, they set up the screen to Ajayi. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From the gun on third down, Tannehill. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
13 yards there on the pickup, and it's first down, Miami.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They go play action here on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Miami first down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Tannehill now. They give to Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And quickly, they get to the line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's brought down. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Do you put it in your quarterback's hands again? That's the question here on 3rd and goal. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked up. That's the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone...
There goes Jonathan Stewart. The 30. 10. A great run that time.
Just quit the game, bro. So there you go, Madden fam. You too, fam. Busting his ass. Jonathan Stewart capped off basically the win with a capped off the early win, basically with a big ass run for a big ass run. So good game to the opponent, guys. You see the PSN tag, guys. Cash me out 5,200. Finally got a rank game W. Hopefully I can keep piling on more, guys, the more I stream for you guys. But like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Had to get that bad taste out of my mouth from that franchise mode, guys, against the Chicago Bears. You guys seen it. But like, comment, subscribe to my channel, guys. Much love to you guys. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.